Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ark Breeding for Dummies. That is what I'm going to call this playlist. We are going to attempt to make breeding as simple and as easy to understand as possible. Because let's face it, we all know we have Googled YouTube breeding, and it can be very confusing. Even more so for Ark Survival Evolved than Ark Survival Ascended. It can be very confusing. I'm going to try and do both. There's only a few differences between the two, but the differences are in the beginning, and they're extremely important for Evolved if you're playing Evolved, because it can completely mess up your line. So, we will try and cover all of those. But for us, you see thylas. I figured I would use them because then we don't have to worry about hatching eggs, and we can have live babies, and they're right there. So, here's what we got. We have Santa thylas. And if you don't know, right now it's Winter Wonderland. And if you don't know, you can write raptor claws if you light your fire in your fireplace. You can actually ask raptor claws for 4 different types of presents. Saddle, armor, weapon, or a dino. Always ask for a dino. Always. Always ask for a dino. You should never ask for anything else other than a dino. What happens once you ask for that dino, you have to go out and kill aggressive dinos and get put on the nice list all the way up until you're very nice. You start off as neutral, and then you'll get sort of nice or quite nice, and then very nice. You have to have a tree, and your fire has to be lit. So you get to very nice, and then you go and you lay down in your bed, and you go to sleep, and you wait for Raptor Claus to show up. When he shows up, you stay in your bed, because Raptor Claus isn't going to leave a present if you're not sleeping. And he will drop your present here at the foot of the tree. Now, everything has to be close together, which is why you see I have my fireplace, my tree, and my bed all within right here, so that I can do it all simple. So when he leaves a dino, you're going to get dinos like our thylas here. So I thought I would use them just because it makes it really easy. So there are 0 points except for health. So that's why this one is health. I put 45, but it's actually 44. Stamina 46. Let me rename this one. There we go. All right. So that all said, now you know where I got these thylas from. First things first. There are 3 separate points for where points can come from. You have the base points, which is where you see all of the health points currently on this thyla. That first number is the base points that dino has. Your second number is going to be, I believe, your mutation number. And we can go look over here. So you can see the second number is mutation numbers. And then that final number, if you look on the melee of this raptor, you see its base melee has 34 points. Its mutation melee is 254 points, which is the max the game will allow you to have. And then I've pumped 71 points more into his melee. So you can see all three numbers there. The amount of points a dino has is its level minus 1. So this is a level 54, so it has 44 points. Okay, this is a level 47, so it has 46 points. That's a level 45, so it has 44 points, and so on and so on. It is like this for every dino. So like this Hyenodon is 81, level 81. And we look at its points, we have 11 plus 16 plus 10 plus 18 plus 14. And guess what that gives us? 80. And it's 1 point lower than 81. Same with this Hyenodon. It's a level 126. So it'll have 125 points randomly spread across its stats. The big difference between Ark Survival Evolved. All right, I had a kid walk in the door, so now we're back. All right. So the biggest difference in Ark Evolved from Ark Ascended is there is not 3 numbers. There is only 2. The mutation and the base stats are connected. I'm going to say that again. In Ark Survival Evolved, there are only 2 types of stats. The base stats and the stat that you pump into it. The base stats and the mutation stats are connected. In Ascended, they are not. They are separate. What that means for Ark Evolved players is you want the highest points into whatever stat you are breeding before you start breeding. If you do not do this, you will ruin your breeding line. This is why everyone is so up for getting level 150 dinos before you start breeding. 150, a level 150 should have 149 points spread out through their stats. That is the highest number they can get. And then those 150s, when you go out and tame them, you're going to name them just like I have here. You're going to go through them and you're going to pick which one has the highest health, and you're going to name that one health. You're going to pick the one with the highest stam, and you're going to name that one stam. So on and so on. And then that's going to be your breeding dinos. Then what you're going to do next is exactly what we're doing here in Ascended. In Ascended, you can follow the same thing. You want to find the dinos with the highest points in every stat you can possibly get. So I have a health, a stamina, an oxygen, a food, a weight, and a melee. Okay? We need to get all these high stats onto one animal. Same thing for Evolved. Okay?
Yeah.
in both Ark Ascended and Evolved, you want to get your highest stats onto one animal. So we have a male with health. We have a female with stamina. We're going to take her and bring her over here. We're going to take him and bring him over here. And we're going to turn on breeding. Oop, that's not what I wanted. All right. So he's our health dino is going to breed with our stamina female. And we want a baby with both health and stamina. So we're just going to sit here and wait. I have my breeding turned up to, I believe, 5%. I'm almost positive it's 5%. So this shouldn't take very long. And we're going to end up with a live baby so that we don't have to deal with hatching an egg. So they're going to mate, and then it'll go through, I can't remember what it's called. Instead of incubation, which is what we would do with an egg, they go through a pregnancy that's timed. So we're just going to keep repeating this until we get all the stats onto one dino. So I'll bring you guys back once we have a baby. All right, so I'm going to bring you guys back right before she has her babies. This is our second breeding. Our first breeding didn't work. But I want you guys to see that too. Breeding itself isn't hard, but the reason people don't do it is because it's time consuming. You don't always get what you're looking for. So we're looking for a level 90 baby. That's a 91. Yes, 91. That's what we want right there. Because there's 90 points. So the baby's level 91. And there we go. We're going to name her Health Stan. Because she has both the health stat and the stamina stat. So now these two we can put away. And now we have her. So we can take that. There we go. And there's that. So that's all on her. And she can eat now. All right. So our next one, she's a girl. So let's see. Oxygen is male. So we'll then breed her to the oxygen boy. And hold on a second. I'm going to take these saddles off. So that I can put them on other Silas. So once she grows up, we're going to pair her up with him, and I will bring you guys back once she is an adult. All right. So now we have our beautiful health stam girl all grown up. And we have our oxygen guy. And we're going to breed these two together. Now, Mom is level 91, and she has 90 points. And this guy's got 44 points. So we're looking for the baby to be 135 is what level we're looking at. Because remember, their level is going to be one more than the points they have. And this only works because our dinos only have 0 in all the other slots. So it helps us. It helps that we know that, so I know what level's coming out. For you, I'm using Amazing Spyglass, which is the box that you see up there. It's a mod, and it allows you to see all the stats. This mod is in Ark Evolved and Ark Ascended. So it just makes it a whole lot easier to be able to see the stats. If you're unofficial and you can't see the stats, there is a program called Ark Smart Breeder. And you basically plug in the stats of your dino and it'll tell you how many points, as well as give you pairings that'll help create higher level dinosaurs. So Ark Smart Breeder is awesome. And Amazing Spyglass is awesome if you guys want to try any of those out, depending on where you're playing and how you want to play. So there we go. We got gestation going on now. We need, what, a level 135, I said? Because we have 90 points plus 44 points. I believe that's 135. Pretty sure. So we will sit and wait. Oh, one of the things that you need to remember, whether you're in Evolved or Ascended, do not, under any circumstance, imprint your animals that you are using for breeding. Do not imprint them. Do not level them up. The numbers won't make any sense then. It'll mess up your numbers. Unless you have something like Amazing Spyglass, which no matter what I do to this dino, I will be able to see. Or you write down the stats before you do anything to them. That way you know exactly what the base stat is. Because if you don't know what the base stat is, then you're not going to know if you have a mutation in that stat or not. Or like if you're using Ark Smart Breeder, make sure you input those numbers into the Smart Breeder before you change anything, before you imprint it or before you start stacking points into any of the stats. Make sure the base numbers are put into Smart Breeder before you do anything. That way they're saved somewhere and you'll always know what the base stat of that animal was. So we got a couple more seconds here. We will see what we got. And we didn't get what we wanted. So this is what happens when you're breeding. It's all right. Sorry y'all had to see that. when you're breeding, that's what you end up having to do. On the bright side, because of the awesome spyglass, I could tell without having to accept the baby. If you're playing on official, you'll have to walk up to the baby and hit E first so that you can pull up their stats and see what level they are and all that fun stuff. But because of the awesome spyglass, I didn't have to do that. I can just look at it and tell that it wasn't the level we needed. I think it only got the stamina. So, and we need health, stamina, and oxygen. We want all the high stats. Give us all the high stats. All of them. We want them all. Y'all need to give us a baby that has all the stats, okay? Don't tell me no. Don't do that. Stop it. Yes. Tell me yes. Yes, we need a baby with all 3 stats. How much time we got on her? 26 more seconds. Now I do have my breeding turned up so that this goes faster. I don't want to cut the video. I want to leave it so that you guys can see as much of this process as you can. Because breeding is time consuming and can be boring. But it definitely pays off in the end. Slowly yet surely. Oh, hold on, we don't want her doing that. There we go. It's passive too. Okay. So now they're breeding. Twiddling our thumbs. Waiting for a new baby. So one of the big difference between evolved and ascended is all of this needs to be done prior to breeding if you're playing evolved. You need to get all of the high stats onto one dino, well, technically 2 dinos, a male and a female, before you start breeding. In ascended, you can start this process the minute you get 2 dinosaurs of the opposite sex. Start breeding, start mutating. The minute you get 2 animals of the opposite sex in ascended, you can start breeding. So right now we're not dealing with mutations, we're just dealing with basic breeding your high stats onto one animal. The next video we'll get into mutations. Oh, that made me jump. Even though I knew it was coming. All right. We have gestation. 2 minutes of gestation. Let's see if what else I can think of that we can talk about. I don't know. A minute and a half. I don't see anything up. Pillows don't belong on my beach. All right. We are getting there. See, she's getting fat. He's not fat, she's fat. Yes, the females actually get fat. The ones that do live birth, they actually get a belly. All right. Here we go. Let's cross our fingers and hope we get one with all 3 high stats. Come on, come on, come on. Ooh, we got twins. And there's a mutation. So, since this happened, real quick, I will point out, when you get a mutation like this, that is happening when you're trying to put the stats onto a dino, no go. Do not keep them. They won't be any good. Don't do it. You'll also notice there's a color change for every, you can see their mutation is in weight. And for every mutation, there is a color that goes with it. We do not need these guys, though. So they are gone. In Evolved, you do not want to keep babies like that. We're still trying to get the stats onto one dino. If that happens and you get mutations, that is a no-go. Get rid of them. They're gone. In Ascended, which is what we're actually playing, we could have kept them. But because we're doing this breeding video, I would just say don't do it. All right, so we'll wait, and they're gonna have babies again. There was something else I was gonna talk about. Ooh, that's right, I remember. There is a 55% chance that the baby will inherit the higher stat from each parent. So we have a 55% chance that the baby will inherit the health. We have a 55% chance that the baby will inherit the stamina. And we have a 55% chance that the parent or the baby will inherit the oxygen stat. So just over 50% for each stat. So we've had 1 so far, or 2. I think that was 2. I don't remember. Either way, you can see how this can be time consuming. Because it's literally only 55%, which doesn't seem like a lot. So she's going to be ready to mate in just a few seconds. And I guess I'll bring you guys back when she's getting ready to pop out another baby. All right, we're getting ready to spit out another baby. So here we go. And no. It got a mutation in health and only got the stamina stat. So now we wait again. And I will bring you guys back. Alright, we're getting ready for another baby. And Raptor Claus is here. Maybe Raptor Claus will be our luck and we'll get a good baby. Oh, really? Not what we're looking for. All right. Let's try it again. While we're waiting, another big difference between evolved and ascended. If we look at my raptor, if you look at the raptor, you can see that the mutation points stop at 254. In ascended, it automatically stops at 254. You cannot get over that. It won't let you. The game stops. You cannot get over 254. In evolved, you can get up to 255. Once the animal hits 255, you cannot physically put points into that stat. Like, if he had a level up, the health, if he was at 255, it would be grayed out like this. If he had a level up available and all of these stats had 255 mutations into them, they would not allow me to level them up. What that means is when you are breeding inside evolved, you want to pay attention to odd and even numbers. So like 44 points would be good. 45 points would be bad. You wouldn't want that. You would want an even number. Or am I wrong? Would I want an odd or an even number? Huh. Yeah, you want an even number. Because when you start to mutate, because remember in evolved, the base stats and the mutated stats are combined. And every time you get a mutation, it goes up by 2 points. So in evolved, you want all of the high even number stats, so that you don't hit 255. In ascended, it doesn't matter because the game automatically stops you at 254. And the base stats and the mutated stats aren't connected. So that was a big change between the two. That's also the reason why in Ascended, it doesn't matter what level dinos you start with. You can start breeding and building up your mutation stack. Where in Evolved, you can't do that. You have to get the highest level dinosaurs you can first and get the highest even stat first before you start breeding. So that's it. How much longer we got? I will bring you guys back when we have another baby. Okay, here we go. New baby. Seriously? Like, is that for real? Y'all see this, right? That is a level 1. It has no points in any of its stats. That's really sad. Oh my word. All right. And we wait again. All right, we have another baby. Let's see. I'm afraid to look. Seriously. Oh my word. All right, I think I have let you guys suffer enough with me. I'm not going to bring you back until we get one that has all 3. So this might take a while. We did it! Check it out! We have health, oxygen, and stamina. Woohoo! Yay! Where's my button? So we're gonna name this one Health, Stam, Oxy. Come on. There we go. And now we will wait until this guy becomes an adult. Is this a male or a female? Male. So let's see. Male, female, female. Food. We're going to breed food next. And I'm not going to make you guys hang around and watch all of as I add all these up. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one, breed it to that one till we get health, stam, oxygen, and food onto one animal. Whatever sex this animal is will depend on if I breed it to the male or to the female. And then I will bring you guys back when... No, I'm not going to do that. All right. So we're just going to keep breeding till we got one animal with all the stats. So if this is a male, we're going to pair it up with this female. Whichever sex this one is, we're going to pair it up to the opposite sex because we have one male and one female. If we happen to end up with the male at the end and we have a male baby, I am simply going to just keep breeding it to, like, say, say I only had the male left and I paired these two up and it has a male baby. I'm simply going to turn around and take the male baby, replace it with this one, and breed it to mom until I get a female that I can breed to him. That's what you end up doing. Pretty simple, straightforward. And I will see you guys in a little bit. Real quick, I want to say something because it just happened. So I was breeding food to our health stam oxygen male, and we had this baby. You can see she's 135, same as dad. So she really isn't what we want, but look at this. She's female, and she has her mom's health, or her mom's food stat. She also got her dad's stamina and health. Okay, so she's missing the oxygen stat. But that's the only thing she's missing, and she's female. So if she has the stat we want to add, and she's female, so we can breed her back to dad, along with mom. And that'll give us a higher chance of getting another baby that has all the stats we want. Because now we have a female that's only missing one of the stats from dad. So he's missing the food stat, she's missing the oxygen stat. If we breed them together, instead of having to wait for all 3 stats, now we only have to wait for 2. Because she needs the oxygen and he needs the food. So that'll help speed things up. So we're going to keep mom breeding with dad. And as soon as she's old enough, we'll add her to this too. And that'll hopefully help speed things along. So I just wanted to point that out for you guys so that if this happens to you, you know what to look for. You don't have to keep breeding these two until you get all 4 stats. You can start adding babies that are comparable that will help finish off your stack. Because the higher we go, the more this is going to happen, and the more I'll be using babies like her to help me get these stacks, this stack done. So I just wanted to point that out. I will bring you guys back in a little bit. All right, just stopped the breeding because, as you can see, we now have 3 girls around him. That was the original food, the high food stat female that we were breeding to our health stam oxygen male. They then gave us this girl who had 2 stats from dad and the food stat from mom that I held on to breed. And she gave us another female that had health, stam, and food. And when I bred her to dad, they gave us this girl who is health, stam, oxy, food. And yep, there we go. So she is perfect so far. Now we will wait for her to age up, and because she's female, we're gonna go with weights. This guy will be our next guy. And the rest of these, bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. And we don't need this baby either because we already have the baby we're looking for. So that one can go bye-bye as well. I hear... Dump all that. We're gonna dump all that. And put that in there. All right. Now we wait for this girl to grow up, and we're gonna breed her to our weight male. And I will bring you guys back when we have one that has health, stam, oxygen, food, and weight combined. This is day 2 of breeding. And just like I did with the females in the last one, this male is 136. He has the weight, which is what the original dad has. But he also has stamina and oxygen. So he's only missing a few. So we're going to take him. We're going to name him Weight, Stam, Oxy, because that's what he is. And we're going to move him over here. And we're going to let him grow up. And replace just our weight male with him. So then all we need to worry about will be the health and the food stat. So we went from trying to get 5 stats onto the same animal to just 2 stats onto the same animal. Because they both have stam, they both have weight, or they both have oxygen. So we just need, well, we went from 5 to 3 then. Health, food, and weight. So from 5 stats to 3 stats, that's a pretty nice jump. We'll add him to her and keep on breeding. Day 2, here we go. All right. So as you see now, we have a male who is a 180 with health, stamina, oxygen, and weight. So he has 4. Now we just need to get 1. Now instead of 5, we're down to 2 that we need to get onto 1 animal. And you'll also see I have, that's the original female I was working with. That one has a, well, it's the animal we want, but it has a mutation. And we don't need mutated animals right now. All right. Now we have 3 females. You'll see that's the original one that was just health, stam, oxygen, and food. And then they gave me a second one with health, stam, oxygen, and food. So that's number 2. And then they gave me a third, health, stam, oxygen, and food. So I've been holding on to all 3 of these because remember, it's a 55% chance that the baby will get the higher stat. So we increase our chances by having more females. And as I can get extra to a male, I've been swapping the male out because that ups our chances when both parents have the same exact stat. Of course, that stat's going to be on each baby. So that helps us out too. So that's why I'm doing that. So eventually, we'll get all five of these stats onto one animal. And then we'll have the male. We're hoping we get it onto a male because our last one is a female. So we really need this one. It has to be a male. That's what it boils down to. So we will keep breeding. All right, we got the animal we were looking for. She's got health, stamina, oxygen, food, and weight. There's just one problem. She's a girl, and we need a male. So what do? Well, we hold on to her, we mature her up, and we breed her back to dad. That is what we do until we get a male with her stats. So that is where we're at currently. I'll bring you guys back when we get a male. I am going to leave the other 3 females on here because there is a chance that we can get a male with her stats from any of those 3 as well. So we're going to leave them all there and keep breeding. And just like that, there is our male. 224, he has all the stats. We're going to do health, stam, oxy, food, weight. And that is him. So we have, that one's 135. We don't need that one. And she's gonna have her baby really soon. There we go. And that's another female with all of them. All right. Turn his breeding off. We can get rid of all of them. We're gonna take this girl. All right. We don't need that girl. Now we are left with our male, who has the health, stam, oxygen, food, and weight. And our female with the melee. So this will be fun. We'll wait for him to grow up, and we'll set these 2 up just like we've been setting up everybody else. Let's make sure you're not following me anymore. All right. Get rid of that. You can see how many dinosaurs, how many thylas we've gone through already. We have our 6 original, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We've gone through already. And we haven't even started mutating. This is just getting the high stats onto one animal. All right, I'll bring you guys back once we get these guys set up and breeding. All right, we got these guys set up and we're getting ready to have another baby. So what we're looking for that's only a 92. All right. Say goodbye to that baby. So what we're looking for in this case, our male is holding the bulk of our stats. So we are going to be looking for, our end goal is a thyla with all 6 stats on it. Okay. To help us get there, we're also going to keep an eye out for any females that are born with the melee stat and one or more of the other stats that Dad has. If we find those females, we will keep them and simply add them to our little breeding group here, because it'll up our chances of getting that all 6 stats onto one dino. If it was the opposite, say all of our female here had this stack and our male had the melee, what we would keep an eye out for is any females born that have the same stats as mom, or a male who had melee plus 1 or more stats from the female. And we would simply swap out the melee male for the melee plus more stats baby. And we would just keep breeding until we get all 6 stats onto one animal. So that is what we are currently doing. And I will bring you guys back when we get our stats all on one. Hopefully. We'll see. It will happen. I'm hoping it happens today and we don't have to go into day 3 of breeding high stats onto an animal. But we will see. I'll see you guys in a minute. Oh my word. Okay. So it's almost the end of day 2. I have been breeding these 2 all day long, and I cannot, for the life of me, get the melee stat on any of her offspring. None. Can you figure out why? Oh my word. I have literally been breeding all day trying to get this melee stat. I mislabeled her. Oh my god. I feel so stupid. Okay. Well, now I'm gonna go get the actual melee phyla. And I will figure this out and get the melee stat and all the other high stats combined onto one thyla. I'll bring you guys back. I feel like such an idiot. All right, now that I fixed our problem, now we have the animals we're looking for. So, what we want is a male with all of the high stats and a female with all of the high stats. And I actually got several females. Oops, I need to put a stop to that. That's a 270 male. We don't need him. That's another 270 male. We don't need him either. And we don't need this one. Is there anybody else? All right, and as you can see, I have a couple females that have the thing, and I just labeled them her. And then we have the man over here. This is now going to be literally, that's why I named him the man, the male that is going to set the base for all of your mutation breeding. This guy right here. And then all of these girls are going to set the base and be your females for all of your mutation breeding. That's what these are. So we have now finished the basics. The basics of breeding. Let's take this girl out for a spin. We can see what kind of damage she does. Come on, give me something that'll fight back. So she's hitting at 188. Kind of want something that'll fight back. She took a beating on her health. Her health was low already, but she held her own. So there's some good news and some bad news. Let me get out of here. We don't want to hear that. All right. So we have some good news and some bad news. As awesome as this animal is, even if it was a Rex, say you did this with Rexes, this animal would not be able to defeat all the bosses. And absolutely not be able to defeat the Overseer. They would all die. And you might be able to get away with some of the Gamma bosses, especially like the Broodmother. Anything past Gamma Broodmother, I could not guarantee that even 20 of them, because you can take 20 dinosaurs into boss fights, even 20 of them could handle most of the boss fights. That's one of the bad news. The other bad news is if you're on a PvP server, I can guarantee you the Alpha tribe on your server could munch your tame that you put several days worth of work into without even batting an eye. And that's just the truth. As much work as you put into them and as awesome as you think this dinosaur is, they are literally just the tip of the iceberg. Just the tip. Now for the good news. They are just the tip of the iceberg, and they can be so much better. Are you ready to see so much better? Are you guys ready to make some OP dinosaurs? Are you all ready to give the Alpha tribe on your server a run for their money? Because that's where our breeding is going to next. And I can't wait for you guys to come with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.